Welcome to UX Banter Season 7, where design leaders, innovators, and change makers share their stories, insights, and passion for human centered experiences. This season, we are exploring AI driven design, inclusive UX, enterprise strategy, and the evolving role of designers in a rapidly changing world. I'm your host, Dushyant Kanungo. This podcast is presented by Galaxy UX Studio and powered by Galaxy Weblinks, an Inc. 5000 company.
Another episode of the new season, season 7 of the UX Banter podcast. I am your host, Dushyant Kanungo, and introducing our guest today, who is a founder and a Webflow expert who has helped brands grow through fast, accessible, and future ready digital experiences. With over 250 websites launched, his work has been recognized in the Relume Showcase and the Best of Design Rush. Honored as one of the most accomplished under 40 in Bend, he is the founder and creative director, a studio dedicated to building websites that are not only visually compelling but also scalable, inclusive, and easy to manage. Please welcome founder and creative director at Farewell, Kevin Watkins.
Hey, Nishant, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Yes.
So I was looking at the website of your studio, Farewell, and one of the things that I really liked was the playlist of Spotify from each of the designers. When we hover over them, it says that what they are listening to, what's their jam, and it actually
Mhm.
shows about the creativity and the direction that that you guys think from that point of view. Also, the layout and structure is very unconventional, and it just is not one of those run-of-the-mill websites that we generally come across in our business. So that had me thinking, it must be a very different creative journey that you've been on, because sometimes when we look through the lens of a business perspective, these things often tend to be very traditional. So I'd like to know about the journey that you have taken and how you got here where you are right now.
Yeah. So back in the day, I started doing this on evenings and weekends, and I actually ran the business for 4 years before quitting my full-time job, and I was in video production before that. And while I was at that other company, had built their website uh, probably two times over the 4 years I was there, and yeah, really took a liking to web design. And after getting my bearings with web design, I just wanted to learn everything surrounding it. So taking every copywriting course, design course, of course, development, like how do we make them faster? How do we track what's working? Um, so yeah, it's been really fun for me to nerd out on all of those things. And as you know, in the creative space, things are changing constantly. So our kind of motto has been, to embrace the chaos instead of running away from it. So, my team probably rolls their eyes, once a week every time I'm presenting a new idea. But um, yeah, that's, we want that to reflect on our website too. And I'm redesigning it again right now. But yeah, just kind of staying ahead of the trends and being able to pass those things on to our clients. So yeah, embracing the chaos. That's my motto going into 2026.
Nice. I mean, from for Indian perspective, I always say that India is organized chaos, and if you have to live here or do any sort of social interaction, we have to embrace the path that you need to trust the other driver to pull away if they have just jumped in front of your car. They'll
Hmm.
just move on their own. You don't need to react to it, and that's one of the most ridiculous things that I learned when somebody told me, you don't have to react every time somebody just swings their bike in front of you. So why can I, put brakes on so somebody will hit you? You continue on your path. The person who has come in front will automatically leave in a minute or a second. So it's
Yeah, no,
I
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, organized chaos is
Yeah, so
exactly what the,
you have to keep your pace and you do you. That's the way
yep.
to go about it. So as you are working with in a domain which is very specific, I think when we talk about web designs and in a specific environment. So what kind of clients that or brands that you work with, and what is the most exciting part of these projects for you?
Yeah, so the brands we like to work with the most are ones that are building for the future as well. We say we're building future-ready websites. The clients we like to work with are, building the other things in the world that are making the future a brighter place. So a lot of sustainable organizations, a lot of people think nonprofits, but there's a lot of also for-profit, like mission-driven organizations out there with founders that just have really good ideas and are able to take those and make them into different businesses that kind of help the world move forward. So I guess it's a long-winded way of saying organizations in the sustainable place.
So the journey of becoming founder of a creative studio, there bound to be certain challenges that, everybody who has gone off their way for working on their own to being in the business of managing and delivering creative solution. That path is very bendy, if the term would be. Do you
Yeah.
find any challenges that you would like to share with us, and how did you overcome with those?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it often sucks. Excuse my language. I mean, there's a lot of hard parts to it, but there's a lot of rewarding parts. So, I have two small children at home as well, so I often compare it to parenting, right? There's very challenging times, and there's different things that can push your buttons, but at the end of the day, like just seeing our team grow and our clients grow and our work grow and continue to be better and overall make an impact is really rewarding. So, yeah, a lot of challenges, but a lot of rewarding moments as well. And I think probably, to get more specific on one of the challenges, I would say just staying ahead of the curve, right? Like things are changing every week. And I mean, I'm guilty of like shiny objects syndrome with all these new tools and different like workflows you can do. But yeah, being able to have one foot in innovation while the other foot in actually running the business and
That is
delivering on your promises.
The business always remains twofold. One is about the growing business, one side thing about the tools and practices you said. Another side is about the creative side of business, that the quality checks and everything that you want to deal with the creatives. Because if you're working on your own, you know exactly what is required to be done, what have you promised. But then there is a communications chain that comes in the middle while we are working with the team, while growing.
Mhm.
So when it comes to scaling, do you think that designers become like the proper managers as they are supposed to be?
The good ones, right? The that's a rare skill. And the maybe not rare, but it's harder to find. Most of the people who are good at deadlines and project management, while also pushing the creative and delivering good projects, those people are agency owners, or like they've just found a good path in freelancing, right? They're sought after. So there's not as many of those people on the market, and they're also harder to keep around too, right? Because
Yeah,
yeah,
it's hard to
just like
keep up with the competition, but I think that is the way ahead. As AI tools and the other things which are coming in the way, it is important to understand the business objectives, the product thinking as the term that can be tossed here, to understand the full picture rather than just thinking about the one screen that you are about to deliver. You need to think about the aspects which may be beyond your ken at any given point, but you have to think it as holistic as possible before it goes to delivery. So, before proceeding any further in the serious discussion, I'd like to bring you to our rapid fire round. If you remember that I told you about this in the last call that we have. So,
yes.
here are a few questions that you have to answer. So, What is your go-to pastime?
I don't want to say work. I mean, I enjoy learning. So, reading, podcasts, books, YouTube. I enjoy staying on top of the latest trends. So I know that's kind of work related, but on a larger scale, I would say different learning platforms, books and podcasts. I really love
Right.
diving into.
Any book that you can recommend?
Yes, one that has changed the way we approach sales and marketing and project management and client relationships is a book called Pick Up the Phone and Sell. It's a book that talks about, I mean, in the title, but picking up the phone. So not just for sales, but for project management and different things. Like people are being bombarded with spam emails and texts and this and that. So their inbox is very crowded. One thing people aren't doing these days, especially like the younger generations, um, I'm not that old, I swear, but is picking up the phone. We're so used to like texting and emailing that when you receive a phone call and doing a phone, it's proactive calling is in the book. So picking up the phone when something's not wrong and just calling to say hello and checking in on your clients, that stands out as something memorable. And yeah, it could be a unique way to stand out in an
Right. Most of
inbox.
the calls that I get are the spam phone calls, actually.
Hmm.
I don't know how data privacy works for India, and it's ridiculous that the number of people who have my phone number, even if I tell them that please don't call me again, they said, yeah, I have this Excel sheet, I can delete your number, but it is circulated nationwide, so I'm not sure how many people from the organization are going to call you. So,
Yep.
right, you do you. All right. You said that you have two kids. So, what is it that you cook for them?
I don't do a lot of the cooking.
Off to
If
McDonald's.
it's yeah, yeah. They're a fan of chicken nuggets,
Mhm.
and I am too. So yeah, we cook them at home. We have an air fryer, and we're throwing some chicken nuggets in there. It's really good, and I will often just eat the leftovers of those. So I'm kind of secretly hoping they don't eat all of them because I enjoy the chicken nuggets as well.
Right. And tea or coffee?
Coffee,
Yeah, so I mean that's a question
that
that
was quick.
it goes between UK and US, and then so India is the
Hmm.
tea country, especially the chai that we drink. It's a version
Hmm.
of tea, which is often known as chai latte. Well, I'm not sure why latte is added in front of it because for us tea translates to chai, so that's the standard word in Hindi.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, your favorite holiday destination?
Holiday destination. I mean, it's got to be just someplace new, especially with the kids now. Like, I didn't do a lot of traveling growing up. It was kind of an expensive thing. So that's been one of my whys running the business is being able to travel with my family and my kids and give them new experiences. So this year we took the kids on their first international trip to Costa Rica, which was really fun because they got to see monkeys for the first time outside of a zoo, I suppose. So yeah, it'd be finding new destinations. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, looking to explore the world. There's too many places to visit to go back to
Yep.
one too many
One place
times.
that I am planning right now is to visit Tanzania because of the pristine beaches of Zanzibar to the
Ooh.
Kilimanjaro peak that has the architect. Then you have the Masai Mara jungles and safaris. So you see zebras and giraffes and hippos and lions, everything at one place. And I think that is where I'm planning to travel next now. Hopefully, I don't know when that happens, but that has certainly popped up into my itinerary.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. I mean, let me know when you go. We'll try to cross paths and grab a beer or tea.
Yeah, and let me know. I have a good friend who does the itinerary for incoming travels there. So
Ooh.
they arrange for everything the moment you arrive to the moment you leave the country. They do the management of the services. So we are
Oh, that'd be
working for
great.
them, and yeah, so that's how I learned a lot about Tanzania in the past 3 months than any other place. But yeah, that's what we can plan to do. So coming back, the last question of this is you said that you do a lot of YouTube watching about learning. So what any channel that you can recommend that we should follow?
And I follow so many people. One of my recent favorites, I mean, the Webflow channel is really good if you're into Webflow. They hired this other YouTube creator, WebBay. He's now part of the Webflow team. So seeing him on the Webflow channels really nice. And then Flux Academy, Ron Segal, and their team over there produce really good content as well. So yeah, that was one of the first. Flux Academy was one of my first courses that I took when I was learning Webflow.
Nice. And with that, I'd also like to add another channel called UX Banter on YouTube. Follow, like, subscribe, and share this video as much as you can. And that was the plug because my team continuously says that you don't say that. You need to ask people to follow and subscribe. You can't just put your video out there and expect it to just, do its thing. But I said, content always wins. It doesn't matter if I say it or not, but that was the plug. All right.
Good
So
job.
now back to the question. So, in your experience, AI is changing the way many industries are working. How do you see it influencing design, creativity, and brand building in years to come? I mean, we have seen people doing automation for everything. There are channels on
Hmm.
YouTube earning in millions now, and they are faceless ones because the persona who is on the screen is not real. The communication or the conversation you are hearing, everything is generated. Even the copy which is written for the communication is generated because of one prompt, and you are getting a series of videos that they are automatically uploaded. So there is a bot driven world which is, and bots are creating the videos, bots are watching the videos, and nobody knows what's what because the numbers are unreal. So okay, coming back to the question rather than complaining about bots, is do you think that it is going to influence the creativity?
Yes and no. I like to think of these tools as just the next wave of just what we have at our disposal, right? Like, not too long ago, the internet, right? I remember Y2K. I was so, these different things come and go. And now it's just like a part of our everyday life, like us doing the Zoom call. Like we're not thinking too much about it now, but when it came out, it was pretty unreal. Yeah, and with AI, I do think, it is a tool. I think it's a tool that will just amplify your expertise, right? I think there still needs to be something behind these tools. Like all the AI tools, they just pull things from the internet, right? And with all the bot driven content, it's just going to be regurgitating, it's called AI slop sometimes. So
Love. Yep.
yeah. Yep. So, it's not hard to stick out. Original ideas will always win. AI is just reusing what's out there, but it's pulling from a database of original ideas. So if you're creating those original ideas and using AI as a tool to amplify your expertise, then you're going to stay ahead of the curve. But yeah, if you're just reproducing, copy pasting what other people are doing, then you might
You
be in
have to be
trouble.
original. So, what do you think are the biggest challenges brands are facing when it comes to their digital presence? Because it has been, people always talk about that, what to do, what not to do, but what are the general problems that you are asked to solve?
Well, quality is the biggest one, right? Like, and that's probably why people like you and I still have a job. Can people go on and create, use the AI builder in GoDaddy or Squarespace? Even Webflow has like their own AI builder, but people are still coming to us for that expertise. So just because the tools exist, if you don't know what you're aiming for and what direction to provide the tools, and you're just gonna come up with that slop, right? And you're gonna fall into the chaotic void of the internet. Yeah, and I think original content will continue to stand out.
So this is what a discussion that actually went on within my team. So we said that, okay, let's perfect our process. Let's see what are the areas we can shorten the distance. And we said, not 100% it is not going to resolve. I get a client's brief about some design. I can't just simply feed it to AI and say, give me the whatever it is wanting, a mobile app or a website design. But you need to think from the way that you are using it as a processor rather than a performer. So you ask specific questions about the gaps, the edge cases, the points which are missing for a cohesive delivery output. Fill in the research data that you either did in person or some consolidated sources that you have acquired with. You look at the analytics data that you can fetch in and think about the user personas that we are actually pointing it to. And then decide on yourself that you're not letting AI decide for you about anything. It's just talking about the facts and figures. It's just the compilation, just as a calculator to sum things up for you. And that is where you are going to save time. And once you do the calculations from the system and you decide what to be done with it, that would be the easiest way to go from point A to Z. And on the way, even at the very end, if you are confident enough that I have this particular screen, I know the information architecture of the application, I know the number of fields and information type or the tone of voice that is going to be said, let's generate one screen with AI. But whatever it is generating, it is already done by somebody. It could look very good. It can actually fulfill its purpose in terms of the process that you have went through. And finally, you have a UI that is looking very nice. But then that is something that anybody can do. I mean, from a business owner's perspective, I can just publish a checklist about what to say to create a website, and here you have it. So then I said, a UXer's job is done. So UX person has done till the wireframes or whatever they have received. But then comes the UI design part. And if the UI is also generated, then what can I do which stands it out? So I thought that why not use my graphic designers? So I'm actually piloting this. So this is not something that is actually went out. We are doing a lot of manual work over the outputs because it doesn't look as sharp as you want to before delivering. So I put some
Mm,
of my graphic designers and I said, do your thing. You are free to do whatever you feel like with this wireframe. Just arrange one block at a time with as much creativity as you can. While they were working, they got big criticism for the UI people. They said, what have you done? Have you got a paint bucket? Are you playing Holi or Rangoli? And what is it that you colors everywhere? And so when they came to me showing me a web page, and I was like, why is it so dull? I thought you were creating a very colorful exercise with this, which invokes emotion. And they said, like, everybody was criticizing, so we thought to tone it down. I said, no, if I had to, if I needed a toned down version, AI could give me that.
mhm,
But what I needed was the thought that either it is looking very good or what the hell is that? And that is the job of the artist, the creative side, that you need to invoke some emotion that should come out when we are looking at the work. And that's exactly what I felt while I looked at your website, which had its wonderful movements, absolutely creative way of representation. So all the listeners and viewers, please visit Farewell website. The URL is in on display in description, but it is Farewell.
farewell.com is taken. So it's heyfarewell.com.
Hey, farewell.com. Please visit the website. And I think it was quite unique experience. I mean, see, it sometimes it feels like that as creators, we always go into the loop that how our website should look. All right. So with that, I will ask you one final question, Kevin. What would be your advice for people who want to follow in on your footsteps, or an advice to yourself when you were younger?
Probably what I was saying earlier, embracing the chaos, get ready to change. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and yeah, be be flexible with the things you're doing, right? Like we started out as a WordPress agency and now we just became a premier Webflow partner. But I always say, if another tool I think comes around that serves our clients better than Webflow, like we will switch to that. So yeah, being tool agnostic is key right now and being able to shift and break things and fail a lot. One of our core values is fail forward here at the agency. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. And yeah, if you're jumping in the creative space right now, buckle up because it's fun, it's chaotic, it's rewarding, you'll laugh, you'll cry. But yeah, there's no better field right now in my eyes to be a part of if you like a little excitement. So it's fun.
Yep, and things come and go. Careers are not always going to be defined as that this is what I do or this is what my role is. And approaching everything together as, as part of your role, that I do everything. And I think that could be one of the approaches that can be defined. So, with that, I thank you very much, Kevin, for joining us today for this episode.
Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, it's a lovely discussion.
All right. With that, that was the episode for today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and staying with us till the end. I wish you guys a happy holiday season. I know this episode is going to come after the holiday season, but with that, stay tuned. We'll be back next week with another episode of the UX Banter podcast.